Hey people. Sit up. Good morning. Good morning, people. Yes, I'm out here in the living room. I got up maybe 20 minutes ago. Woke up 20 minutes ago. And yes, today is um, March 3rd, 2023. And it's 6 o'clock in the morning now. Wow. Um, I'm really just getting up, and I like to share a vision I had. And I may even share you a dream that I had yesterday, like yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yeah, wow. Um, I saw what I saw today. I saw, yeah, it's very faint, but I saw, it looked like a very sturdy bronze, um, like covering, like a gate or something, or a doorway. It looks very solid. Um, it was uh, square-like in shape. It was maybe slightly wider than it was tall. Looked very solid. Uh, a nice dark bronze. Yeah, very metallic, but it wasn't shiny. It wasn't shiny at all. And I noticed on it, like it was in front of me, I felt like I was standing in front of it. Uh, it was mm, semi-dark, like little sunlight, a little light in the room, like in this room. And I might have been maybe 15, 20 feet away from it. Um, it had designs on the door, and I wish I were more descriptive about it because it was hard to really tell what they were, but they were in clusters. I remember there was a design in the top center of it, more circular. And I in my mind, I'm wondering, is that a mandula? Um, yeah, sometimes when I'm having these visions, oh, I almost forgot, with the visions that I get, I do meditation. I do a type of meditation where, upon awakening from sleep or dreaming, I lie still and then just focus with my eyes are closed and I'm just focusing forward. And or then usually I see an image, something manifests. Um, yes, I feel as if that there, I'm at the location. Um, Sometimes I feel like I'm participating in the vision, like I am the eyes of the person that's there. Uh, I felt I was an observer, and yeah, it could have. I don't know. It was just some circular design, and it was nice. Everything was done very professional, and I think I was thinking in my mind, is this a place in India, something like that? It I mean, because they do beautiful uh, ironwork, the designs. It was simple but very graceful, but it was kind of circular and something within the circle. And there were other clusters. Um, I don't know what the significance were, and I couldn't tell what they were. They were just, it was etched in. And then I think to the right of it, I then see a man, and the man was wearing a oh, sorry. I'm sorry. The man was wearing an astronaut type of suit. You know, it had the helmet, but this helmet was close to the head. It wasn't like I've had visions of people wearing those type of suits, but it was like the helmet, the thing was really big. But this one was close to the shape of the head. It was a human. It was a man. Um, I'm not sure the details of the face of the man, but it was a man's face. Um, Medium build, but you know, on the slim side. And the bodysuit, it also was, you know, you could see the creases in it. I don't think I saw the feet. Um, this suit wasn't puffy at all. So it just seemed like something was just to protect him, you know, his body, but it wasn't like puffed out like some of these suits or astronaut suits. It's all puffed out like air is inflated inside of it. This one was not. And he was just standing there, and he was standing looking in my direction. And then I remember, like I kind of like moved my head like this to see, because I'm trying to see how I can see more, get a perspective. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe if I like move my head side to side or my eyes side to side, maybe I oh, might see something more. I apologize for yawning. Hey, how? Yeah, then I saw a man, another man. I, I'm not sure whether it's in the same location, but everything's is like one thing after another. And this one, I see a man walk by my view, stop, and turn and look at me. And and I think he was carrying something. He looked like he was a human. He was human. He reminded me of maybe a farmer, of someone living in a rural area. He was Caucasian looking type of person, kind of what you call so-called ethnic looking. He had dark hair. Not sure if it was wavy or curly. I remember it had thick hair. Um, he had some weight on him. He was a little overweight. Um, let's see. I think it was a gardener or something. My feeling was he was a rural guy, but it was so faint. I'm not sure if he had a mustache, a thick mustache, but I just know he had a very ethnic look about him, so-called ethnic look about him, and I felt that he was a farmer or something, you know, someone living in a rural area. And I see him walking. I saw he just wearing regular um, modern clothes, simple, very simple. Um, like it's very hazy, like it's hazy in this room now, because it was dim. It was very dim, the lighting. But he turned and looked in my direction, and that basically was it. What I saw. Um, I wonder what all these things are. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. Any really distinction of what I, you know, have envisions here in Rwanda versus in America? Um, I would say since I've come to Rwanda, um, I have seen other black people here. I think I saw a person that I might have seen before in person, a mature guy. I could, He had sunglasses on and he's looking upward at me, and he's like interested, what is this? He wasn't scared. He was just interested. What is this? And he's looking up in my direction. I'm elevated up in the air, looking downward at him. Um, yeah, and just hmm. Yeah, and I saw a lady before, and I felt like I was walking and she was walking. I felt I was walking in the street, and she turns her head as she's walking by me. Yeah, we're both walking, and I see her face. She had a very intense look, you know, like one of the local women here. Yeah. So no, I didn't stand these phenomenons that I get. Um, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember a lot, but hmm, I try to like get these visions down, and I'm hoping, to get an answer on what they are. Um, yeah, so I feel that some of these things they see me, whatever what they see something, and I'm hoping that when I'm doing these videos, that maybe somehow someone can get in contact with me and say, "Hey, I saw you," or something, and they could further describe the scene. That's what I'm hoping. Um, yeah, but it is it's the third time though that I had the vision of someone wearing that type of suit with the helmet and the body thing. Yes. The first time I saw this type of suit, it looked like the person actually was underwater. They had a buoyancy, and it was two men. The suit was very puffed out, and they were hammering something. They had an extremely large mallet, very big, and they're hammering something. Um, I think it was something metal on the bottom that they were hammering. Um, yeah, the two men facing each other, and they were kneeled to the floor on the ground. And I think they were taking turns with the mallet. Like he had one, and maybe the other guy had one. I'm not sure. Um, it was either both or one. And remember, I really focused on the one on the left. Okay, that was doing a lot of the work. Um, and then the other time I remember, um, the person had a big helmet, big round, and I see a head. He had a adult-sized head, but it was a lot of room inside the thing, like it was an oversized helmet, and he's had the suit on, um, and he was lying flat on his belly, and it looked like he might have suspended in the air. And I remember he had what I thought was a part of a harness that was wrapped around his leg, because you see that something was around just underneath the buttocks, that like it's grabbing his thigh, and it was on both legs. It was a light color suit, and he's lying down, and I can see that something is around his leg, and I just assumed it was a harness, part of a harness to hold him up. And then today's, um, yeah, he was just standing there. Um, wow. Yeah, it's really something. Sometimes these things that I'm actually looking at, sometimes it's like you feel like you actually. Again, I never hear anything. There's never audio. I just see, and sometimes people are talking, but no sound. They're clearly talking to somebody. Yeah, another time I had a vision. Yeah, this one I thought was really interesting. I mentioned it before. This was back in America. Um, I saw a man who's a he looked like a black American fellow. He looked very, like some of you look at people and they have a very American look about them, whatever what American looks like. But to me, just how he stood, had a large frame, slim. He looked like someone in their late 30s, 40s, in prime health. He was a soldier of some type. Um, he was wearing a bodysuit of some kind, remember the movie Star Wars? Those warriors, they wore this white outfit. It looked like plastic. Like it was body armor. That's the word, body armor. We had a body armor, like the top part on. I don't remember what the bottom looked like, but it was body armor. And his arms are down in front, and his hands in the front of him. And the room looked very technical. He was standing and he had these goggles on, but you see part of his hair, like it was held on with some type of elastic, something. And his hair was cut short. He had, African type hair, but close cropped, but you could still see that there was hair underneath. And the goggles were shaped like, they were opaque. Um, and it was close to the face. So I couldn't see his eyes, um, but they're opaque. You couldn't see through it. And he could be been leaning on something, um, but he's standing, and he's talking, and he's laughing, and like he's like laugh a little bit and talking at the same time. He had we call it pizza face, like badly scarred face, like he might have bad case of acne as a youngster. Um, yeah, very distinct face. I drew a picture of him, um, and he's in a room and looked technical. They had lights all around, gadgets. Yeah, things are happening, people. Yeah, as I said before, the veil is thin. It's getting thin. You're able to see what's going on. Yeah, hi viewer. How you doing? Yeah, the veil is revealing those who want to see. I've said that before. Yeah, the people are, you know, I would imagine people able to see more. A lot is happening. Uh, it's like whoever who wants to see, they're going to see. And it's revealing. There's so many. I mean, I don't know why I'm seeing this, the things I'm seeing. Yeah, I was just saying, viewer, that in today's vision, I saw it looked uh, a gate, like a way. It was looked like a solid bronze entryway. It was humongous. It was more, it was wider on the sides than the height. It was looked very solid, sturdy, and there were designs on the door. I remember one had in the center top looked circular, and there were other designs, very simple, graceful designs in clusters. And they were etched in, very professionally done. Yeah, solid bronze doors, beautiful color. And then right beside it appeared like a man wearing a spacesuit. Um, but it wasn't ones that are puffed up, but it was something covering his whole body. And the helmet was round, but it was close to the head, because the one that I saw in the past, it was very, very, very big for the head, very, very big. And you see, he had a small, adult size head that was small in comparison to the helmet. Um, yeah, the what we're seeing. Um, yeah, I don't know what the, I don't remember if the guy, like I saw the man today. He looked like a rural guy, Caucasian, kind of slightly overweight. He was looking past my vision from the left, going to the right, and then he stopped, turned around, and looked at me. And he had he looked like a Mediterranean type fellow. Had dark hair. He may have had a thick mustache. I forget. Yeah, kind of slight, on the chubby side. And I think he had something. He was carrying something in his hands. Just wearing like casual clothes, but looked like clothes. Not fancy. Like everyday clothes. If you have some chores to do around the property. It was very faint. I couldn't see what type of background it was. That's basically what I saw today. Yeah, these, all what I can say is people, the veil is thinner and it's you to see more. Start meditating. The method that I use, it seems to work for me. Upon awakening from sleeping, or if you're dreaming and you wake up, just lie there, keep your eyes closed, and just focus forward like your eyelids are a screen, and you just have an expectancy, like you're looking forward. Your attention is forward on your eyelids, and you usually see something. You can see things. Sometimes it's very clear. Sometimes it looks very three-dimensional, like it's super ultra 3D. Sometimes like what looks like a photo. So it can happen. Or sometimes you feel like you are participating, you are active, and you may see something, see a person, whatever. It's really interesting. And as I get older, the variety that what I'm seeing, it evolved over time. I started meditating. I thought it was maybe 2014 I started meditating, but it actually could have been 2015. Um, and then by 2017, I started this method. Like initially, when I first started meditating, either 2014, 2015, I did the traditional, you're sitting down at a little table, something, you got a candle, incense, so all that ethnic stuff. And I did closed my eyes and just went blank. And I started seeing things. It The first thing I started seeing were uh, colors. The I saw like what looked like energy waves. They were like long, narrow threads of something, and the colors were red and green. And in the center of each little thread, it was divided in segments, like a narrow rectangle segments. And inside each segment was a little black dot, and it's moving like energy waves. And then I started seeing other shapes. So what I saw developed over times, So first it was shape, energy waves, and I did see a person early on. I think that was April of 2015. And why I say it like that, because I remember I was walking home after meeting a YouTuber who was part of my spiritual journey. And I remember coming home, I was going over my head, in my mind, what I had seen, the vision that I had. And it was this man. Don't know who the man was, but it looked like a man from the past to me. Just he had an ethnic look about him, a Caucasian, dark hair. I think it was clean face. He had no facial hairs, very slender face, but very angular, meaning like he had very distinct cheekbones, very, um, just very. He reminded me of this actor. I think his name is Jeffrey Bloom. He played in the movie with Johnny Depp, the Pirates of the Caribbean, that guy, the he worked alongside him in some of the movies. Um, yeah, that hit because that actor has very shapely face, very lean, had a very lean face, dark hair. He had dark eyes, and his face, like if you look at night goggles, it the things that you use in night goggles, it distorts the color. So his coloring had a slightly greenish, yellowish tint to it. And it was dark in the room. It seemed very like when I'm seeing, like the person seemed as if they were in the dark. And he was just sitting, I just saw from like this part up. No hat, I didn't, yeah. And he was just staring, just looking. And no movement. So it almost seemed like a photo or like a still image of this person, who he was. But part of me was thinking, because I guess he had dark hair and dark eyes, whether he was an ancestor. Um, that's what I was thinking, that he might have been an ancestor. On my father's side, my father's grandfather was a Portuguese. And so that's immediately what I was thinking. It was just a thought that came in my mind. Maybe that's an ancestor. That's all I thought. It was what came to my mind. Um, Yeah, so what I've been seeing evolved over time. And then by 2017, I devised the method that I'm using now. And that's when things really took off. Yeah, you just, upon awakening from dreaming or sleeping, just lie there still, keep your eyes closed, and just focus forward. And when I'm focusing forward, like you look like you, even though your eyes are closed, like what I'm demonstrating, imagine that what what you see, it's like a screen, like a movie screen, and something's going to appear there, and it usually does. It usually does, and it happens quickly within the first few seconds upon awakening. Try that, people. Try that, and don't judge what you see. Just, I mean, not judge. Just because I'm concerned that when you really start to get analytical, that it might change your frequency. I mean, I'm not trying to sound new agey, I, um, but like you, like because I'm in a relaxed state, um, it's you're not changing whatever what's happened in your head. It's like a channel. Like let's say channel two. I'm just making up a number. Channel two, and I'm s- s- speculating that when you start to analyze or to that it's going to change the channel. That's what I'm saying. So try to stay as neutral as possible, because so that it doesn't change the channel. Let it change the channel for you, you know, and you're gonna start having these experiences too. And let's say if I mean, I've been doing it so long now. Wow, I can't believe it. Since 2015, 10, oh my God, that's 10 years. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because it's 2025 now. I've been doing at least for 10 years now. Yay! Yeah, people, go for it, honey. Yeah, it's a journey. And that's why, like, I used to be a Christian. And again, I don't knock anybody, whatever what you believe. We all need something to believe in. But that YouTuber that I mentioned, I got to meet a YouTuber. We were both from New York City. Yeah, yeah, we were actually. She lived in Far Rockaway also at one time. I was born in Far Rockaway, Queens, and then I moved to Hollis, Queens as a youngster. I was 4 going 5 when we moved to Hollis, Queens. And she had shared with me she's from Far Rockaway, but now she's living in Long Island in I think Suffolk County. And she was um, she was a major character in my um, developing, change, exploring so-called spirituality. She was a big part of it. Yeah, she used to be a Seventh Day Adventist, and then she became a, oh, my mistake, a Jehovah Witness. My apology. She was a Jehovah Witness, and then she changed and she went into Hebrew Israelite, and then she changed. She started to really ask questions. She started reading a lot of literature, and she wrote a book. And I followed her from, watched her channel from, it could have actually started in 2013. I might have seen some of her work, but definitely by 2014, I was glued to her channel, especially by April of 2014. Yeah, I was really glued to her channel, and I followed along for that whole year, and then the end of the year in the early December. Oh no, wait a minute. It was late November. She mentioned she had a book that was coming out, and I got it in early December, just days. I think I got it December 3, just 2 days before my then birthday. Yeah, and it shook me. Her book. Yeah, she had to do a new edition to the book, but yeah, so I have both editions, and it shook me. Her book. It was called The Age of I Know, Unmasking the something. It's her name is Vera Courtenay. Vera V is in Victor. Vera Vera Courtenay, and she wrote the book. It was very hard to follow. And back in 2014, I was a Christian, but I had stopped going to church for 1 year by the time in late 2014. My last day in church was 2013. The last Sunday of 2013 was the last time in church, going to, church service. Yeah, I said to myself, I need to expand. I was interested in learning about my African roots, African religion. And here I'm living in Africa now. I'm living in Rwanda now, those of you who don't know. Um, yeah, I'm in Central East Africa. It's, yeah, the religious practices here is Christianity, and they do have Islam here, but most of the people are of the Christian denominations. Um, yeah, a lot of Catholicism here. They're pretty quiet about their religion. Um, yeah, so even though I'm in Africa, but they're very westernized in their faith-based system, in my opinion. Um, I think I would have to go to west parts of West Africa to get a different experience, a different type of spirituality. A country of Benin, Benin, West Africa, um, they still hold on to their traditional religion. Wow, maybe I should go visit there. Um, but yeah, this is a an adventure that I'm on. I'm no one special. Anyone could do um, what I'm doing. Some people may say, "Oh, meditations of the devil." Well, um, they're different. Okay, Any, we all have our own journey. Um, and I was that type of person. I was a very, I don't want to say a religious, but I thought the Bible was, I have to say, the gospel was truth. But the book about that Vera Courtenay wrote just forced me to open my eyes to other explanations. And I started to see the inconsistencies of religion. Um, so I would say, like in 1 or 2 years, I denounced Christianity. Uh, and I have no regrets, people. I have no regrets. Again, religion is a tool that was devised for humanity, but that tool was to control you. That's what I'm saying. Now, you can make up your own religion. Religion is man made, but the people on top use religion to control you. Um, the world is so big, and it's it's infinite. And I said they're different. I don't know how to say, but there's different levels of, and I don't mean level meaning some is better than others, but let me use the word channel. There are different channels out there, channels of awareness. And I'm seeing these things. And I mean, I was seen somewhere. I shared many times about the vision that I had, and I saw an African. This was in America, and I see an African looking man. He sees me, and he looked like he was in a room, a dark room, watching. Maybe he's watching a TV or a monitor. He's being entertained, and then he looks up and sees whatever what he sees in my direction, and he grabbed a spear and he started trying to stab me with it in a frenzy. And I said, "Whoa!" I said to myself, "Whoa, what is going on here?" Because I'm thinking like you look at your TV, right? You don't see TV to stab you, right? I'm just thinking I'm just very passive, and I'm seeing whatever what I'm seeing, and it got angry. And I had to open up my eyes to try to disconnect from what is happening. I think, whoa, what's going on? Then I opened my eyes, left it over for a couple of seconds, I closed it back again, and it continued. The guy now is standing up from his chair and in a frenzy, stabbing whatever what he's looking at. And I'm not hurt or anything, but this is phenomena that's on. So what I'm saying, people, there are different level that your mind, like your body is an interface for this physical dimension. But you also have a mind too, people. You have a mind slash consciousness that can go beyond this body, beyond your body, beyond your physical environment, and it could travel. It could manifest, consciousness could manifest in a different location. I do not know whether this location is somewhere, it could, oh, I say, it doesn't necessarily have to be on this planet. Serious people, and I do not do drugs. I don't do drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke wacky weed. I don't smoke anything. And I don't drink all it. Nothing. No drug, nothing. Your mind has chemicals. Your brain has chemicals. And when they alter, you could learn how to alter your perception. And you could be a type of astronaut of the mind. You can become the astronaut of your mind through your mind and be at different locations. I've seen things of different time period. I'm serious, people. You can see things from a different era. I've seen things from from the 1920s, the turn of the century. I personally have seen this in my vision. I saw these flapper girls, the Roaring 20 type. They wear those nice those dresses that show a little bit of the knee and these little frills, these little string things dangling, and they were wearing these they look like high fashion ladies, and they would go down the stairs synchronized. They were wearing like all white or antique white. They're real sharp. And then I saw what looked like what do you call it, the Civil War in America. I saw these two young dudes, and they were standing next to this platform, wooden platform with these giant wooden wheels with spokes, wooden spokes. And they were just, it was daytime, and they're just talking, laughing. Looked like having a nice time. They had a real young face. They looked real young. They looked about maybe 18, something like that. Real young, smooth skin. They were white people, young white dudes. And they're wearing that blue outfit, the uh you call it a union outfit. Yeah, I saw that. So you can time jump at least what was presented to me was a time jump. Um, you never know. I've seen things that look like in outer space, these spaceships. Yeah, they're people. There are spacecrafts out there. In the thousands, I saw a fleet of spacecrafts. They were all identical in shape. And they were like in a buoyancy. The space was completely black, jet black. There were no stars up there. I saw no stars, but yet um, the craft, the multitude crafts, you could see like it reflecting light. It seemed metallic and it reflected light. So I don't understand how that could happen because the sky is complete black and no stars, but somehow you can see it and it seemed to reflect light. And I'm watching this. Yeah, there is space out there. There's crafts out there. Um, and your mind could travel outside of your home, outside of your country. Um, it whether it's above ground or out in space. Again, some of the places I don't know where it was. I saw before. I was in some type of base. Look, ultra modern, ultra scientific, and there were insects. I know it sounds crazy, 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 but I'm seeing this, and they're walking on a platform. Everything was white, everything spotless, clean, and they were giant spiders, and those big. They're about the height of a person. Giant, giant. Had skinny legs, and I think the body was long. So it wasn't like a daddy. It had legs like a daddy long leg. Like in New York, we had things called daddy long legs. It remind me of that. And the body, I forget how many segments in its body it had. Um, I did draw a picture of it, but it's walking, and they're walking in pairs, like two long rows of these giant spiders walking, and there was an emblem, like a squiggly lines, red lines, um, in the center of the platform, the white platform that they're walking on. And that's the first and only time that I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, there I again I was I'm seeing it. It was extremely clear. I saw everything. And there are other worlds around. And when you personally see things with your own eyes, you're going to, you have to open up your understanding then about the so-called Bible. These religions were designed to keep you in check and to keep you waiting for a so-called savior. They're there to keep you passive, Don't question anything and to wait for someone to help you and save you. It ain't coming. It's not coming. It's just maybe going to be one ruler. You know, people, you have rulerships, and rulerships will change over time. And I think that's all what it's about. It's a grab. What's happening in America, around the world, it's a grab for power because there's a time and season for every matter under the sun. That's all what it is. You have Trump. He's the new flavor right now. He's the new sheriff in town. And he has things up his sleeve. Now, yes, I did vote for him. I'm being honest. Yes, I did vote for him. I voted for him all three times. But I do not, I do not trust. I'm just looking at him right now. There's a picture. Yeah. I do not trust people that are around him. I do not trust, being honest, I don't trust the people that are around him. 2016, when he was in office, I thought he was on fire. Excellent. But now, you know, I didn't trust his VP when he was in office in 2016. I didn't. I did not trust. What's his name? What's his name? Pence. I knew he was a snake. In my opinion, a snake. And I don't. I didn't trust. Yeah, I can't say any more about him. But I knew that he was in. You know, Trump was had to watch his back, and now Trump has these new people. And he seems like passive, like he's letting these people have say, like back then in 2016, 17, he did all the talking. I never heard Pence talk on his behalf like who he has now. Never. Trump had to watch his back. And I'm not threatening him. I voted for Trump, but my instincts are telling me this man, Trump is going to, you know, it's happening very fast. The changes with Trump. You know, look, this is what I'm looking at. Yeah, I don't. I hope you saw it. Yeah, yeah. He has to watch his back big time. What I'm feeling with the new administration in America under Trump, that he has people around him, and they're younger than him. They're considerably younger than him, and I think those people are opportunists. I think they got their position too early and they're gonna be cocky. And I think they'll let him dry. Yeah, if they see opportunity in that door, they're gonna take it. That's my opinion. I don't I don't trust the VP. I don't trust oh, what's it, the two guys from India. I'm just something said no. They're not. You know, they're highly intelligent. All of them are highly intelligent. And what's his name? Musk. Elon Musk also. No go. Oh God. He's the most spooky. Elon Musk is the most spooky out of all the people Trump has around him. Um, I feel he's in danger, Trump. Yeah, I said it. I feel Trump is in danger with these three people, Elon Musk. No, four people: Elon Musk, VP Vance, um, Swami Singh, and then the other Indian guy. So it's four people. Four people. He got to be careful, man. Yeah, something is happening. It's like a corrupt, like a. I feel something's getting corrupt. On the surface, some things, the changes because of the prior administration, the Biden administration. Yeah, he had a clean house, but um, I'm thinking things are it's getting corrupted, and yeah. So people, only thing I can say, yeah, try to try to get on food. Like even when I was in New York, I think I might have shared this. When I was living in New York, like I left in 2020, the end of 2023. Um, I was stocking up on food. I bought my rice and beans. Yep. Buy your rice and beans. You know, your dry beans. Stock them up because that is a very rich food. You know, it's a survival food. Things are becoming more expensive. Yeah, stock up on non-perishable foods. Um, have extra money on you. Yeah, try to do that. Um, yeah, in cities like I mean, like when I was living in the heart of New York City. I was in the middle of everything. You saw my videos that I was doing back then. And I watched many videos, and they were saying back then, you know, move out of the cities and things. Yeah, I moved out all right. I back then I had the three little dogs, and I felt trapped because a lot of places that you cannot bring your pets with you. And if there was an evacuation of the city, if they want you to leave, um, where am I going to go with, you know, I was a middle-aged lady, where am I going to carry, how am I going to carry three little dogs? Yeah, they get tired. My dogs are, you know, getting older. I always think they were going to live forever, but yeah, they did. My little girls did pass away. May they rest in peace. My little boy is right there. Let me show. Let me see if I can show you him. Yeah, that's him. He's sleeping there. He likes to sleep under there. Yes, my little boy. And the weather here is getting hot right now. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, people, um, please, please get yourself ready. Whatever, you know, have your passport. They you could expedite your pass if you already have a passport but it's getting expired. You can um do it online. You know, you can do it online. um yeah, do so now. Do get the most advanced passport, you know. Get it. You may have to move. Just have it. It's great ID to have. It also proves citizenship, passports. Do it as soon as possible. Do it today. Do it today. You know, in the morning. You know, it's in the you know, it's early morning hours here. Um, do it as fast as you can. Because see, you never know what's gonna happen, and governments are changing. You know, it's not everything is getting more. People are getting more edgy. It's for a reason because the time is short. With Trump, he knows his time is limited. He knows what he has to do, he has to work quickly. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I don't know the future, but what I perceive, see, he knows his time is short, and I feel that he purposely got Vance in his position because he's young. He's only in his 30s. Is he the youngest person ever VP? Yeah. So if anything happens to Trump, he's young enough, like he's VP now, and be Trump's last term. You can only serve 2 terms. So if something happens to Trump, he'll fill in, and then I think he might have 2 other times, you know, to go in for VP. So he has maybe um let's just say towards the end of Trump's term, and he comes in, he still has 2 more terms for, you know, president, right? something like that. So yeah, so he'd be young enough if he can do two more terms. Yeah, he'd be young, and I think they did that on purpose. Um, yeah, he was groomed. Yeah, he's the new kid on the block, like Obama. It's like they're creating these people out of nowhere. Um, no one knew anything about Obama growing up, or even Vance. You don't really hear about them, but both of them are very similar. Both of them, Vance and Obama, seem to have similar um, backgrounds. They became adults. Um, they wrote a book, even though they were no name. No one knew them, and somehow the book became popular. I think on the bestseller list, and then they got into, I think, the Senate seat. It was like a fast track. These people are groomed, and they had like he had a challenging background, poverty. So he has his cover story. They had, just like Obama had his cover story, and they're selling it through the book. And how is that if you're a no name? How is that you get so pop? Because people are behind them and they can push a book, push an agenda, and make you want to watch it. Yeah. And boom. How is that, people? You got to ask yourself these things. And do you think it's a coincidence? See, you got to all get at things that repeat. Um, what you call patterns. And the pattern in this situation, okay, Vance has an Indian wife. And then one of the guys that was running for president, he's from India. And then the one that got into who's now CIA director, he's from India. And then, there's one other person. What was that now? Oh, Kamala. How can I forget? Kamala. Kamala was running for the presidential seat, right? So how many people that? Okay, so you have Kamala, Vance's wife, and then you have Shawama, Summon Shawama, and then the CIA guy. So you have four people. You think that's just a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. And no, I'm not anti-Indian. This first time, for boop, oh, a coincidence. It's not. Nothing is ever a coincidence in politics. Nothing. It's a change in office, and they had to make it that that Asian connection and all this. Something is happening quickly, 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 and it's going to happen. And I don't know whether Trump. I'm just a spectator like you, and I never felt this way. People are people, but when you have a government and it's always right, every always lily white, right? And then you get Obama. Obama was the prototype for change. But again, he was biracial, so he still had grooming of a European American person because of his mother. His father was never around. And then he had the Asian connection to Obama through his stepfather who adopted him. And for whatever reason, okay, he was adopted. Why did he change back his name? Did he legally change back his name? See that? Identity. Stop wondering, stop questioning about identity of people and how people are being shifted around. Again, there's nothing wrong being from Asia, being an Indian, or being from Indonesia. There's nothing wrong in those nationalities in itself. But I'm just telling you that these are patterns that is manifesting, and it's this way deliberately. It's not the people's choice, it's what they're giving you because the system is up for this new change of gods. It's going to be a new dispensation of everything, and you may not like it. So I'm just saying for me, it was getting too close for comfort. Things were getting dangerous in New York City. I lived right in the heart of the city, and didn't want to get stuck being a middle-aged woman with three little dogs. You can't take your little fur babies on some of the transportation. Yeah, I had looked into it. That was, I think, in 2021. I think it was 2021. I had called up information. I said, look, because things were getting really bad in New York City. And I said, hey, I had wanted to take this bus ride out of the city. It said no dogs allowed. And it was just one dog I had in a carrier. So, what transportation could I take in case there's an emergency or what you call an evacuation of the city? Where, how would I get out? Oh, you just follow instructions. But I'm asking you now, how am I going to get out? I said, I'm not a young person, and I have these dogs. How could I safely get out of the city if there's an emergency? And they had no answer for me. None of it. I called up other transportation places, and I don't drive. And I don't want to drive. I mean, I have a driver's license, but I haven't driven in years, and I don't like driving. I don't like driving. I'm scared of driving. So what I'm gonna do? So things really got bad, and then they tried to steal my dog, my little boy here that you see. Yeah, they tried to steal him in broad daylight in 2023, around August 2023, and I said, I'm out of here. Yeah, I said I'm not safe. So yeah, things are happening quickly. The veil is getting thinner, people. And you too, you can see for yourself. See, you don't have to believe. A lot of people you should not believe because they BS. But I'm saying for you check for yourself. You look at the trends, what are happening. You think it's by accident? You have four people from India who's vying for position as president? Four. Well, some of them, two of them, Kamala and then Swami. And then you have the CIA person in there. And then you have Vance's wife from India. I like Indian food. Thing against Indian people. But I'm getting a bad feeling. And I go by my instincts sometimes. Sometimes I don't understand why I feel what I feel. But I just get the hell out of there. Yeah, I don't want to wait for trouble. I got the hell out of there. And yeah, so make sure you get if you don't have a passport, get a passport. You can expedite the passport. You can also do it online. Um, do that today. Have cash on you and stock up on survival food. What I did, I got my beans and rice. Oh yeah, packs of it, and then I left. I gave away. Yeah, you can always give away your food. Yeah, people with all the illegals around, you could just put the food out there, and people would take it. The dried goods. Yeah, things are things are. Yeah, you notice now the eggs. What I'm hearing, the a staple, at least in America, eggs is like a staple. Yeah, it's like rice. It's a staple. Like milk, eggs, and bread. Those are the three staples: milk, eggs, and bread. And they're making it difficult for you to just get your basics. People, they're doing this deliberately because, see, when they control your food source, they control you. They're trying to control you by limiting food availability so that they will tell you what to do and you have to do it. I said, get out, get out of those big cities and try, if you have a friend, go somewhere else. And you may need to leave the country. I mean, you do what you feel comfortable doing. I'm glad I left. New York City, where I lived, it was just downhill. Um, I still have family in America. Um, yeah, and yeah, just yeah. Luckily, they have cars and stuff like that. But please be safe, people. Yeah, and pray for me too. I mean, things are are temperamental. Things are like for example, was it was last month, I think? No, 1 month ago, there was now conflict in Nigeria. Nigeria's in West Africa, and because Trump was deporting the illegals, and you had a person from Nigeria that was being deported, and Nigerian president comes on the video and says that he's basically that he's upset that um, a Nigerian national is being kicked out of the country, out of the U.S., and that he notices that many of the people being deported are what he called black people, and so he's giving American citizens living in Nigeria 24 hours to leave. I personally watched that video and his statement. And then Congo, I think called it DRC, yeah, Democratic Republic of Congo. They're having conflict there, and they said something about Russia um, giving a verbal threat to the president of Rwanda, a warning, because Rwanda is involved in something with Congo. And that didn't sound good to me. And I'm living here in Rwanda. So it's like you can run, but you can't always hide, people. You can run, but you can't always hide. And so I'm thinking, whoa, what if something happens here? And it's interesting when I went to, I had talked to, I sent a message to two people that I know here to ask them advice about, if you have to leave the country, how do you take your with you? You can't leave, you know. And some of them one of them got offended. Yeah, it's something when you're telling people, asking people something, and you tell them, hey, look, I said, I heard these things on the media, and I'm concerned that if something happens in the government and I have to leave, how do because see, the person I asked travel all the time. They travel a lot. So I figured they might know, how to do something like this. And they get offended. And one of them, I was offended because, like, I'm texting this person that I know. So she shares the text with her husband. I've never met the lady's husband, never talked to him, and he's writing me. Like, oh, don't be afraid, he's like he's offended that, oh, this country wouldn't do something like wouldn't order you out. I said, no, I'm not saying that they're going to order me out. I'm just saying if things get difficult here. Oh, and then the lady says, oh, that's my husband. She texts us under the statement. Oh, that's my husband's response, not me, not mine. What is your husband writing me for? I text you. I didn't need some some woman's husband getting um, offended. And what's interesting about it is that those people are refugees. See that? See, I didn't want to go in a you know, push the issue. I just wanted to get answers. Um, but yeah, those two people are refugees. They had to leave, well, and actually, their parents left Rwanda in the 1950s before I was even born. And they were born, the people that I know were born in other countries. They were born in Uganda. And then they had to leave Uganda because of Idi Amin. And then they moved to Canada, and then they moved to America, and then from America, she just comes back 3 years ago. So how could any of them say to me, oh, they've been offended because of, they're being offended because of the nationality, but they're not even born here. Yes, their parents are from here, but they're not born here, and their parents were forced to leave. Why? Because they had fear. So why get offended? I'm not insulting your country. I'm not saying anything against the people from here. No, I'm just saying you got Nigeria kicking out at Americans. You got Congo having a conflict, and then Russia interjecting and threatening, giving a verbal threat to the president of this country. So things could happen. People, just stop being so sensitive about someone saying something. I'm not saying about this country, against this country, but that things are very volatile now. Look what happened a couple of days ago in America. You had the president of Ukraine, and he only said a question. He said, how could you call, or what's the word he used? He used a term, diplomacy. He says, how could you call this diplomacy when in 2014, then through 2019, 20, there was an agreement made between Ukraine and Russia from 2014 to 2025, this fighting. Because in 2019, Russia uh, went against the agreement for a ceasefire. So what do you call how are you calling this diplomacy? That's a valid question. And Vance gets offended, and he started the fight. Vance started the fight. He said, "Oh, how ungrateful you are." Is that diplomatic? Is that diplomacy to say to him, this guy's a president of a country? And Vice President Vance is a fluffy statement at the end because he wanted to say, get involved in the conversation. He didn't need to speak throughout this whole thing. Everything was going smooth till he opened his mouth. He gives a fluffy statement about diplomacy, but diplomacy did not protect Ukraine. And no, I'm not a fan of Ukraine or Russia. I'm just saying what it is. Either he got his ass kicked or not. Many people from Ukraine and Russia are dying like flies. So, what diplomacy happened? Would you believe someone saying, oh, we just have another agreement? But there's already an agreement. And it was thrown out the window by Russia. Russia had about 180 million people versus Ukraine's 38 million people. You do the math. You do the math. Is he being ungrateful or is saying the truth? What would you do? You had a neighbor. Let's say you had a sibling, and your mama is saying, "Hey guys, get along. Okay, be nice." And then your mom leaves to go shopping, and your big sibling is beating you up. What are you gonna say when your mother gets home? Mom, that diplomacy did not work. You better protect me next time. Okay? That is not being ungrateful. It's being realistic. When your people start dying like flies, America has never had this type of combat on its soil. It never had combat on its soil and, the last time was, since the Civil War, 1860s, right? Since the 1860s, there was never combat in on American soil. And when the U.S. threatened by Cuba, what did the U.S. do? They got involved. They got nasty. And they intervened and they took those missiles, because those were missiles from Russia aiming at the U.S. What would you do if someone's aiming a rifle in your house? I understood the anger. So Ukraine's the same thing. The border's right there. And Ukraine said, you have a big border. You have a big ocean separating you from Europe. I'm right there. That is not being ungrateful. He's being real. He's being targeted since 2019 to 2025. I would be a nervous wreck if I was in a country like that. I wouldn't want that. Vance is a new kid on the block. I think he was in the military. I think he might have been. Um, but he's some young dude. He's a little greenhorn, and Ukraine got angry with his statement. I was surprised, as I mentioned before in the prior video I did, I was very surprised that, because I thought it was a safe statement, Vance's statement, but diplomacy, he's just trying to smooth things over, promote peace. And Ukraine is being realistic. He's getting his butt kicked. What guarantee? What guarantee? And they asked a what do you call it? A reporter immediately then says, "What if Russia breaks the agreement?" And then Trump gets angry. What do you mean? What if anything happens? Again, Vance said the truth. I mean, not Vance. The Ukraine president said the truth. You have a big ocean separating you, and it's protecting you, and things could change for you. That's not a threat. He's being realistic, and I think he's right. Ukraine is right. Something is going to happen. And so they all, as I mentioned earlier, those troops, there are people, what I perceive, and what was already mentioned because of the open border. Why was the border open? To bring in mercenaries. There are, in my belief, there are mercenaries that entered the U.S. and the border under Biden's administration was done on purpose to sneak in mercenaries. And many of these mercenaries are from China, and they're going to take over. They're buying land next to um, government facilities. Oh yes, people are noticing, and they're calling it. Hey, how come these people from China are buying properties around military bases in America? Hello, hello. Yeah, it's a coup. There's a coup taking place, a quiet coup. They're setting it up, and Ukraine is, again, I'm not a Ukraine fan, whatever, but I see what's happening. Ukraine really doesn't have any rights. They're forcing Ukraine to side with the West, but they're next to a giant called Russia to the east of it. It doesn't want to be a part of the Russia. It was under the USSR, and Russia doesn't feel comfortable with Ukraine being associated with the Western powers. Hello, so it's between a rock and a hard place. It's a small ass country, 38 million people, but it's doing a big fight. And yes, the U.S. gave them weapons. But look at this. The weapons that Obama and Biden gave Ukraine was inferior weaponry. It was only under Trump that Ukraine was able to get something. But you have 8 years, the last 4 years, and then the first 8 years under Obama. So 8 years of inferior um, weaponry. It's getting its ass kicked. Many, many, many casualties. So you have to look in those perspectives. He's not being ungrateful. He did say thank you. But again, how would you feel if you're getting your butt kicked and someone, okay, be nice? It's not, when your children start dying. What do you do when your children are dying? America had never had combat. And America has all these people who are not loyal to the continuity of America. They want to take over. I know I'm talking about, wow. I know I started out with the vision that I had this morning. But again, yeah, I guess develop into this conversation from my vision to this because veil is thin. People are overreacting. People are sensitive, and things could flare up. Just things has flared up with that meeting with Ukraine at the office, and people's feelings are getting offended. Yeah, anything could flare up in a moment. That's why I'm sharing it. The veil is so thin. People are so edgy, and they're reacting very potentially very volatile. Okay. So yes, get yourself ready for whatever what it is. Have money on you. Have survival food, non-perishables, and get your passport in case if you have to move. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So yeah, you can do these meditation things that I told you about, um, and you can see for yourself. Don't believe me. Believe yourself. Do the meditation things that I told you about. When you wake up in the morning, keep your eyes closed, just lie still, and just as if you're looking forward, all your focus is forward. Um, and as if your eyelids are a screen, you will start seeing things. You will see things. You will have visions. The veil is thin. Go see for yourself. Go see for yourself. What does it show you? And you will see that these man-made religions is just a cover because they don't want you to see beyond the veil. They want to keep you in the dark. The world is really big. And yes, there are spacecraft out there. There are other beings out there that you wouldn't believe that I saw in my visions. They are real. And in time, they will show themselves with the disclosure. Yeah, there is going to be a disclosure very soon, I believe. You be the one to see it on your terms, okay? So thank you again. And let know if you have any comments or things that maybe you've seen in your experiences during meditation, um, or even non-meditation things, what you call intel. Share it below with everybody. Each one teach one. Each one teach one. And teach yourself. Okay? Thank you again. Peace, love, and joy. Take care. Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.